2-2 and not 4-0. The fact that he couldn't just run some plays and kick a field goal to win the game against Wisconsin and that debacle at the end of the game against Auburn. LSU should be 4-0 without question. And look, as I had mentioned about Drew Lock, as good as he is playing, he did give up 3 interceptions at Georgia, which allowed Georgia to come back. And there won't be a Missouri running game. LSU can turn them one-dimensional. LSU's going to get some picks Saturday night. It's going to put that offense in good field position. What they do, the key here is what LSU does with that field position that this defense is going to give them. I think LSU is going to turn Missouri into one-dimensional, and they're going to tee off. I think this is going to be the best game they've played all year. And they're going to get that crowd in the game. It is going to be a great game for the Tigers. LSU Tigers, that is. The Missouri Tigers are going to have issues all night. Getting their signals in, running checks at the line, getting good communication, they're going to have issues. I think LSU is going to own the turnover battle. They're going to start more shots down the field. This emotion for Orgeron is going to make this team get exactly what they've needed. I think Ettling's going to have a big game. I think this will be Ettling's biggest game he's had. I think LSU is going to really be able to run the ball. I think you're looking at a game that's going to be like 35-14. That was my pick. Is LSU 35, Missouri 14. I really think it's going to be a game where LSU dominates end to end. I really do. And I think this is exactly what the doctor ordered. And I think Orgeron's going to give it to him. I think he's going to keep bringing the blitz. I think Aranda's going to be doing all kinds of different looks and exotic blitzes and coverages. It's going to confuse Locke. I think Drew Lock is going to be in trouble. I think you're going to see some interceptions. I think you're going to see just a devastating run defense. I think LSU is going to get a couple interceptions. And I think this is going to turn out to be what we have all been waiting on with the Tigers. They're going to rise back up to their best performance of the year. So, yes, I'm calling 35-14 LSU. Now, moving on to the biggest game, in my opinion, of the weekend is Louisville and Clemson. Saturday night, ABC, game day is going to be there. Wow. It's going to be electric. Going to be electric in Death Valley. The other Death Valley, as I like to say. But folks, look, I've been to Clemson a few times. And that stadium is tremendous. It is loud. It's a great college venue. One of the best traditional entries with the rock and the run down the hill. It's exciting. I've been there, like I said, a couple times, and it's a great college venue. If you ever get the chance to go see a game there, I highly recommend it. But looking at this game, okay, again, I like to look at both sides, and then I'm going to give you my prediction. So I'm going to give Louisville's case. Why Louisville will win? Well, the first thing is, Clemson's offense really hasn't let it rip this year. It's been an inconsistent offense than we were used to seeing last year. with Heisman candidate Deshaun Watson. They've got a good running back in Gallman who hasn't been able to get on track yet. He did pretty good against Georgia Tech, but they've missed that. They really have. He's going to have a big game Saturday for Clemson to win this ball game. It's, just another, Troy was able to come in there and hold Clemson down and literally had a chance to beat them or at least get the ball back for a winning drive. Clemson hasn't been able to put it all together. They've been good in certain moments and then rough in other ones. As I said, the running game has been okay, but it hasn't been like last year's. I mean, there's no doubt that teams are shooting for them more than they were last year. There's no doubt. And that's one of the reasons. Teams are going to look to play Clemson like it's their Super Bowl. Clemson ran the ball effectively but not great against Auburn. They ran for 151 yards. But they just haven't had that big dash, like that big, huge 250-yard running game. And it's not going to start this week. Louisville's got a very good defense. Underrated defense. I mean, this team beat a extremely talented, well-coached Florida State team 63-20. 63-20. This is a team that can really put it on you quick, and their defense is good. They're stout. They're tough. They're under the radar, which makes them dangerous. They held Dalvin Cook in Florida State to 3 yards per carry. They get pressure. The pass rush has been phenomenal. I mean, they do very, very well rushing the passer. And they can make you one-dimensional. Yeah, they shut Dalvin Cook, who's a Heisman candidate. I mean, 3 yards a carry to this team was ridiculous. I mean, if you look at this season, if you watch their games, their pass defense and their rush defense is what I meant by the pass rush. And they're living in opposing backfields. They've got 34 tackles for loss and 15 sacks. And the key to beating Clemson is what Louisville's good at on defense, is getting pressure. So my pick is this. If Louisville's going to win the game from their side, they're going to have to get pressure on Watson. They're going to put up some points. There's no question. This will be Clemson. Clemson's got a good defense too now. But this will be Clemson's toughest test, without a doubt. This Lamar Jackson is incredible. Just incredible. He can do it all. So smooth, so graceful, so fearless. But the key to this game is who's solid on the defensive side and who gets the running game going. If Louisville can get their defense to play the way it's played, that's their recipe for winning this football game. Now, on the Clemson side, obviously the home field advantage. Clemson's always played well under Dabo Swinney at home in big time games. Big time games. He has come Dabo, in a sense of a coaching way, has come to play. He puts together real good game plans, and that crowd gets involved and makes it hard for that opposing team. There's no doubt. Again, the defensive principles that Clemson used last Thursday against Georgia Tech is what they're going to have to use and be effective on Saturday night. The offensive styles that they faced last week and what they're going to face this week is like night and day. Now, the key to Clemson on the defensive side is to keep Lamar Jackson and those running backs from doing big, huge gains in open spaces. That's where Louisville's offense thrives, and that's where they just kill you. If you let them have open field, you're done. You are getting carved up like a Thanksgiving turkey, guys. Clemson did a great job on last Thursday night against containing that Georgia Tech option. Basically, the linebackers didn't get out of place. They kept their assignments. They were disciplined, and they tackled. And that's why they were able to hold Georgia Tech's offense down. That option was not anywhere near to where it was in previous weeks, where they're able to just run all over teams and control games. Now, one thing that was the problem, and it's been a problem, the reason Louisville was able to do what they were able to do is that they were way too banged up on the outside and really poor on that interior defense. And that's why Louisville was able to steamroll them. Clemson is able to do both. Their defensive line is great. Their linebackers are smart. Secondary is stout. Troy was able to run a little bit, but they were able to get on the outside. They were able to hit Clemson with a few big runs. But this defense of Clemson's only allowed 2.6 yards per rush. That's big time. That's controlling the game. If they do that, I think there's three keys: rush defense, red zone defense, and stopping the big play. This game will be won on defense. Is it going to be a defensive game? Absolutely not. But it will be won on defense. Whoever gets the stops that are needed will win this football game. Now, what I think is going to happen, well, everybody knows we got a Heisman candidate with Deshaun Watson and Lamar Jackson. They're both going to be trying to make their case. But I think the home crowd and Clemson's defense is what's going to pull them through. I mean, Jackson, will show he can ball. He's done that in every game he's played. I think he's going to show that he can be a pocket passer when he's not in open space taking off. But I think Deshaun Watson's going to step up. He usually steps up in big games, and I think he steps up here. I think, again, the difference is going to be Clemson's defensive line, putting together a great performance to an extent. I still think Louisville's going to put up some points, but I think the difference will be Clemson's defensive front seven that hold Louisville in check. Not stop it in its tracks. And this is going to be a thriller. My pick, my dog of the week, go ahead and give it to you. Actually, I have two dogs of the week. I'm going to give you the first dog today. I'll give you the second dog on Friday, as I'm going to preview some more college football on Friday. That's going to be my rest of college football preview, my picks of the week, as we do my Pick 6 segment and my Fantasy Friday. My Friday is going to be locked up. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be hot. So make sure you tune in Friday. But this is my final. I think you can look for Clemson 35, Louisville 31. Going to be a fantastic game.